Hello there, guitarist Hristo Vichev here, and welcome to episode number 6 of 251 Ways to Voice a 251. Alright, we're going to continue episode number 6 by harmonizing the ninth of our 2 chord. In this case, that will be the note E, which is the ninth of our D minor 7 chord. So in version number 1, here's the voicing I'm going to select. This is a D minor ninth, and it's spelled as a D, F, G, and E. Respectively, in the D minor harmony, D is the root, F is the flat 3, G is the 11th or 4th, and E is the 9th. So here's our D minor 9 chord. From here, we're going to go to this G7. Now we already played this in episode number 5. We're going to use it as one of our G7 options here as well. This is spelled B, F, A flat, and E. And respectively in the G7 harmony, this is the 3rd, B is the 3rd, F is the flat 7th, A flat is the flat 9th, and E is your 13th. So it's a G13 flat 9. And I'm going to contrast that with this voicing. Just a plain G7 flat 9, but the voice tuning is pretty cool. So this new voicing is spelled as a B, G, A flat, and F. So B is the 3rd of G, G is your root, A flat is your flat 9, and F is your flat 7. And then we're going to resolve to this very cool C major 7, sharp 11. Now this voicing is spelled as a D, E, F sharp, and E. You can hear how it sounds against the bass. So now in the C major harmony, D happens to be your 9th, E is your 3rd, F sharp is your flat 5 or sharp 11, and E is your 3rd again. So if I play the full progression, we have this. D minor, G7, 13 flat 9, G7 flat 9, and C major, sharp 11 with the 9th. Here it is in time. For version number 2 of episode number 6, I'm going to still harmonize the 9th of our D minor chord, but this time I'm going to do so with this voicing. This is spelled as a D, F, C, and E. This is one of the piano voicings called 1-3-7-9. And so we can see that this is the root, which is the 1, F is the flat 3, this is your 3, C happens to be your flat 7th, and then E is the 9, the 1-3-7-9 voicing. Now from here, the G7 I'm going to voice lead to would be a G9 chord that's voiced like this. I'm voicing it as an F, followed by an A, B, and then D. So in the G7 harmony, F happens to be the flat 7, A is your 9th, B is your 3rd, and D is your 5th. And then we're going to contrast that with a G7 with a 13th flat 9. So now in this particular case, I'm voicing it as an F, A flat, B, and E. Respectively, in the G7 harmony, F happens to be the flat 7, A flat is your flat 9, B is the 3rd, and E happens to be your 6 or 13. So now here was a new D minor that goes to this G9, G13, flat 9, and I'm going to resolve to this C major. Now this C major is spelled as an E, G, A, and D. Respectively, in the C major harmony, E is the 3rd, G is the 5th, A happens to be the 6th or 13th, and D is your 9. So here's the version 2 voicing slowly. I started with this D minor, I went to a G9, a G13 flat 9, and then resolved to a C major 6-9. let's hear it in time. And we're going to continue with our third and last version for episode number 6. This time I'm going to voice the ninth of our D minor chord this way. I'm voicing this D minor as an F, G, C, and E. Respectively, in the D minor harmony, F happens to be the flat third, G is the 4th or 11th, C is your flat 7th, and E is your 9th. Then I'm going to move to this G7, which usually requires a lot of stretch, but this high up the fretboard is not as bad. So now I'm spelling it as an F, G, A flat, and another G. So this simply is a G7 flat 9, F is the flat 7th, G is the root, A flat is the flat 9th, and G is one more root. I really like the tension of this voicing. Here against the bass note. Now from this G7 flat 9, I'm going to resolve to this. This is a G7 flat 9 with the 13, and this is spelled as an F, A flat, D, and E. So it doesn't have a third. You can hear it against the bass note again. But it's a very cool voicing I really like, especially in conjunction with this guy. And now this again, just to go one more time over this chord, this is F as a flat 7, A flat as the flat 9, D as the 5th, and E as the 6th or 13th. And we're going to resolve to this C major, which is exactly the same voicing as we used a second ago, except it's a whole step higher, ends up hitting different extensions and chord tones of the chord within the mode. So this C major is going to be spelled as an F sharp, A, B, and E. Now respectively in the C major harmony, F sharp is the sharp 11th, A happens to be the 6th or 13th, B is your 7th, and E is your 3rd. So here's the voicings of version 3, slowly. We started with this D minor, we moved to this G7, then contrasted with this G7, and then we finish with this C major. And now let's hear how they sound in time. So now that we have presented all three options, let's go back and one more time go slowly through all of them. So here's what we had. We had a D minor like this in version number 1, followed by a G7, another G7, and then this very cool C major 7 sharp 11. Then we continued with this D minor in version 2, which went to a G9, a G13 flat 9, and this C major 6-9, and then we finish with this version for D minor, which went to this very cool G7 flat 9, and then contrasted it with this, and then we finish with this C major sharp 11. So let's hear all of them in time. Thank you once again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in episode number 7, where we continue our exploration over these 251 ways to voice a 2-5-1 progression, and this time we'll move to the second string where we'll put our soprano note and see what options are available there. Thank you so much.